So I got my coffee and I'm feeling pretty awesome. Well, thank you for asking. You look pretty well yourself. Um, I'm gonna do another story time video about my first girlfriend and my first best friend and how they ended up being married with children. Let's see. My first best friend, I was probably about 13. Dude was actually older than me. He used to hang out with me and my brother. He was a friend from across the street. And I think like around like when I turned 13, I was rebellious and I was, being bad. So I started hanging out with them because they started drinking. And they were cool. Dude was a Gemini and I was a Gemini. Me and my brother actually really didn't get along. We would actually fight a lot. He was a dick. One time I actually burned his shoes and urinated on his clothes, and my mom kicked me out the house for that. Not sure why, but whatever. But anyways, yeah, me and the dude, and then it was me, him, the dude. We're gonna call him Andrew for obvious purposes, but it was me, Andrew, and my brother John, and another dude. We would all, hang out and we would drink. And I was young. I was probably like 13, 14, going to school with hangovers and stuff like that. We would just do bad stuff, just driving around, joyriding, drinking, and sometimes beating up crackheads. Let's see. So around that time, we were in a cult. My mom and my brother and the rest of my family, we were in a cult. And so the cult was the House of Yahweh. And as far as Detroit, because it was like all over the world, we would meet up at somebody's house. So basically it was this family in Southfield, and they had a daughter and a son. The daughter was actually really hot, light skin, petite, short, big eyes, big glossy, colorful eyes. And she was actually really hot. Well, at least I thought so when I was younger. She's actually kind of ugly now. But when I got older, like around 14, 15, she had to be around, she was probably the same age as my friend Andrew. We're gonna call her Jasmine. So Jasmine and I heard that Jasmine liked me. So I'm like, yeah. So we started, talking and, became her boyfriend or whatever. And mind you, I was younger than her. So I would ask my friend Andrew for advice, like, what should I do about this? Or how should I, she's acting like this. And Andrew would, he was a real dude and he would just give me some real ass advice. And I always appreciated that. Like, I really wouldn't be the person who I am without him. But he came over one day, I wanted them to meet. And I'm blind to the fact of how people really are. Because if the person I am now, I could have noticed that, he and she actually liked each other, which is, I guess, yeah, there's something wrong with that because she was my girlfriend. Mind you, they were a similar age and I was younger, so I was oblivious to that fact. But after a while, she started acting funny. Like we stopped talking as much and we wouldn't talk on the phone or I wouldn't see her. So what happened was I asked my friend Andrew, I'm like, well, what should I do, Andrew? Like, she's not calling me back. She's acting all funny. I don't know what to do. Like, So he's like, well, you should just stop talking to her. I'm like, you know what, nigga? You right. I should stop talking to that bitch. So I told her, I'm like, yeah, well, we shouldn't talk. And she was happy. Like, she was cool. And what's funny is I talked to her on the phone right next to him. And he's just sitting there smoking a cigarette like nothing's going on. Mind you, the bitch was master planning. So what happened was me and Jasmine still stayed cool. So we were all going to the movies. Me, my brother, Andrew, and Jasmine. We all went to the movies one day. And Andrew and Jasmine had disappeared. So I'm calling them because, I wanted to hang out too. And, I thought something was up. I thought it was funny. They never answered my phone calls like that all that night. So I'm like, I'm tripping. Like, I'm actually really sad. I'm like, why are they pushing me out? Like, that's my best friend and that's, not my girlfriend, but my ex-girlfriend. I thought we were friends or whatever. So I'm like, what are they doing alone? Why are they even driving alone? So anyways, the next day, he finally told me that they were talking. And then, mind you, still just being the person that I am and, the friend that I am, I'm like, well, whatever. I just wish you would have told me. Like, I was mad, but it was just like, I wasn't dumb. Like, I knew they were closer in age and, people will be people. And, I just didn't have no hate in my heart. So I was just like, it's cool. I really didn't care. But I don't know, it just got too much because as much as I hung out with Andrew, I would see Jasmine just as much. And she, you know, made it seem like I was tripping, like we weren't even boyfriend and girlfriend. I guess after a while I got to Andrew thinking, I guess he felt bad for me, but she would tell him that we weren't together. You know, I was just some guy that liked her and stuff like that. So it did get really, it got really messed up, you know, towards the end. Because Andrew stopped hang out with me, just hang out with my brother, and he would just tell him everything. Like I found out like a week later that they got married. I'm like, I'm supposed to be your best friend. Like, you couldn't even invite me? What do you think I was gonna do? Stand up in the middle of the wedding? Like, no. But that's pretty fucked up. They got married, they ended up having children, and what else was I gonna say? Oh, so me and Andrew actually fell out. What happened was he needed a cell phone. So I'm like, well, I'm on Sprint. I just got my new Sprint. I had a Nextel. People was chirping back then. I had a girlfriend. So I'm like, yeah, and I'm working. So I'm like, yeah, you know, get on my line. Dude never paid his bill. Left me with a $500 Sprint bill. I was so fucking pissed at him. But you know what's sad? Even after that, I was still his friend. It wasn't until I started working like full time and having my family that he came over one day with one of his friends, a mutual friend. And he was just like, you know, it was just distant. You can tell, you know, the relationship had changed. You know, I'm in my 20s, he's close to 30, you know, he's doing his cop thing, and I was being, you know, I was a nurse. It was just, I guess people just going different ways. And then as I got older and looking at how, all the stuff that went down between us, it was just like, yeah, you're not a good friend at all, actually. You can actually burn in hell. I haven't talked to him in years. Last time I heard from him was when my granddad died, and he messaged me, you know, saying, actually he called my phone through Facebook. I didn't answer. I missed the call, but I wanted to answer it anyway. Because, and then he texted me saying, oh yeah, you know, sorry about your granddad calling me. I'm thinking in my head, like, fuck you, you can suck my dick. Because, like, he's on Facebook now, and he's friends with all my family, him and Jasmine. They're friends with everybody in my family except for me, which is funny. I don't really care, but one day my sister, she added them from my page because she's like, oh, you shouldn't be like that. You should add them. They're family. I'm like, sure, whatever. I let her add them, and they never accepted my friend request. And I'm like, come on, like, we're older now. Like, I have a whole family, been to, you know, had a wife and divorced, 2 kids. I'm talking to another girl right now, a kid on the way. It's like, come on, like, let the past be past. But, you know, people will be people. You know, people like to make you out to be the bad person. Really, you just chilling. But that's my story time for today. You guys drink some good coffee and stay well.